Chapter 1. The Hive Awakens. The Hive Institute stood as a testament to human ingenuity and ambition, a gleaming beacon of progress nestled within the untouched wilderness. Its hexagonal chambers, crafted from transparent reinforced glass, shimmered like a giant prism amidst the verdant sea of towering trees. From above, the facility appeared as if a celestial jewel had been embedded into the earth, its metallic corridors weaving through the landscape with precision and purpose. This was no ordinary research center. It was a sanctuary where science and nature coexisted in a delicate balance. Dr. Alara Voss navigated the bustling halls of the Hive Institute with the sure-footed confidence of someone who belonged. Her white lab coat flowed behind her like a cape, a symbol of her authority and expertise. The air around her hummed with the quiet efficiency of advanced machinery, punctuated by the soft murmurs of scientists absorbed in their tasks. Alara's mind was a whirlwind of calculations and hypotheses, each thought driven by an urgency that had become second nature to her. "Alara!" a voice called out from behind, cutting through the ambient noise. Dr. Alara Finch approached with her characteristic calmness, her expression a mixture of curiosity and concern. "I heard about the breakthrough. Is it true?" Alara nodded, her eyes alight with a mixture of triumph and trepidation. "Yes, it's true. Melittin has shown incredible potential in targeting aggressive breast cancer cells. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Finch raised an eyebrow, her analytical mind already racing through the implications. "And what about the ethical considerations? You know as well as I do that something this powerful could be weaponized." Alara sighed, her gaze drifting to the transparent walls that offered a view of the wild expanse beyond. "That's exactly why we need to be cautious. The potential for misuse is enormous, but so is the potential for good. We have a responsibility to ensure this doesn't fall into the wrong hands." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Dr. Marcus Thorne, the lead researcher on the Melittin project. His presence was magnetic, exuding an aura of ambition and drive that was both inspiring and intimidating. "Ladies," he greeted them with a nod, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "I trust we're all on the same page regarding the next steps?" Alara met his gaze with unwavering determination. "We are," she replied firmly. "But we must prioritize safety and ethics above all else. This discovery could change everything, but only if handled correctly." Thorne's lips curled into a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Of course, Alara. We'll proceed with caution." He turned his attention to Finch, his tone shifting to one of subtle persuasion. "Dr. Finch, your expertise in ethical matters will be invaluable as we move forward." Finch nodded slowly, her mind already contemplating the challenges ahead. "I'll draft an ethics proposal for review," she promised, her voice steady despite the undercurrent of tension. As they dispersed to their respective tasks, Alara couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the precipice of something monumental. An innovation that could redefine cancer treatment and potentially alter the course of medical history. Yet beneath her excitement lay a gnawing fear of what might happen if their discovery slipped beyond their control. The day passed in a blur of activity as Alara immersed herself in her work, analyzing data and refining experimental protocols with meticulous care. Her perfectionism drove her to scrutinize every detail, leaving no room for error or oversight. It was this relentless pursuit of excellence that had propelled her to the forefront of her field, yet it also isolated her from those around her. As evening descended upon the Hive Institute, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Alara found herself alone in her office, surrounded by stacks of research papers and glowing monitors displaying complex molecular models. Her thoughts drifted back to memories of her mother, whose battle with breast cancer had ignited Alara's passion for research and fueled her determination to find a cure. A soft knock on the door pulled her from her reverie. Dr. Finch entered quietly, carrying 2 steaming mugs of tea. "Thought you might need a break," she said gently, setting one mug down on Alara's cluttered desk. Alara smiled gratefully, wrapping her hands around the warm ceramic cup. "Thank you," she murmured, taking a sip and savoring the brief respite from her relentless work. Finch settled into a chair opposite Alara, studying her friend with perceptive eyes. "You can't carry this burden alone," she said softly. "We have a team for a reason." Alara nodded slowly, acknowledging the truth in Finch's words. I know, she admitted, her voice tinged with vulnerability. It's just, this project means everything to me. Finch reached across the desk, placing a reassuring hand over Alara's. And that's why we need to do it right, she said firmly. Together. Their conversation lingered in the air as they sat in companionable silence, each woman lost in thought yet comforted by the other's presence. Outside, the forest whispered secrets to the night sky, while within the Hive Institute, preparations continued for the next phase of their groundbreaking research. As Alara finally rose to leave, she paused at the doorway, casting one last glance at Finch. Thank you, she said again, her gratitude genuine and heartfelt. Finch smiled warmly. Any time, she replied simply. With renewed determination, Alara stepped out into the corridor, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Hive Institute buzzed with anticipation as its inhabitants worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of Melittin, a discovery that held both promise and peril in equal measure. Yet even as they forged ahead into uncharted territory, shadows loomed at the edges of their awareness, whispers of intrigue and danger that threatened to unravel everything they had built. In this world where science danced on a knife's edge between salvation and destruction, Alara knew one thing for certain. Their journey was just beginning. And somewhere amidst the hum of machinery and rustling leaves, something ancient stirred. A reminder that nature's power was both ally and adversary in their quest for knowledge and healing. With resolve etched into every step, Alara walked onward into the unknown, a pioneer blazing new trails through an ever-evolving landscape where hope battled fear and ethical responsibility illuminated their path forward. Thus began their odyssey, a tale woven from threads of innovation and integrity, a story destined to shape not only their lives but also humanity's future in ways yet unimaginable. Chapter 1. The Hive Awakens concluded with quiet intensity, a prelude to greater challenges that awaited them all beyond these hallowed halls, a testament to human spirit striving against adversity amidst echoes of past struggles woven seamlessly into aspirations for brighter tomorrows yet unseen. In this place where dreams took flight on wings borne aloft by bees' venomous gifts, where courage met conscience at crossroads fraught with peril, the stage was set for what lay ahead. An epic journey fraught with trials, yet rich with possibilities, waiting patiently just beyond reach. For here at Hive Institute, nestled deep within Earth's embrace, a crucible forged from steel tempered by nature's wisdom, they would discover truths transcending mere survival, a legacy born anew beneath starlit skies, aglow with promise untold. Chapter 2. Shadows Among Us. The Hive Institute, with its gleaming corridors and transparent walls, was an architectural marvel that seemed to pulse with the energy of discovery. Yet, as Dr. Alara Voss walked through these familiar halls, a sense of unease settled over her, like an unwelcome shadow. The Institute was a sanctuary of science and innovation, but it was also becoming a crucible of tensions that threatened to fracture its foundation. Alara moved with purpose, her white lab coat billowing as she made her way to the central lab. Her mind was a cacophony of thoughts, each one vying for attention as she grappled with the weight of their recent breakthrough. The discovery of Melittin's cancer-fighting properties had ignited a firestorm of excitement, but it had also drawn unwanted attention from external forces eager to harness its power for their own ends. As she entered the lab, Alara was greeted by the familiar hum of advanced machinery and the soft glow of monitors displaying complex molecular models. The air was thick with the scent of antiseptic and the quiet intensity of focused minds. Her team was already hard at work, their faces illuminated by the screens as they analyzed data and refined experimental protocols. "Alara," Dr. Marcus Thorne called out, his voice carrying a note of urgency. He stood at a workstation, his eyes fixed on a series of graphs that flickered across the monitor. "We've got some new data on Melittin's interactions with healthy cells. I think you'll want to see this." Alara joined him, her curiosity piqued. The graphs displayed promising results. Melittin's precision in targeting cancer cells while sparing healthy ones was unprecedented. Yet, beneath her excitement lay a nagging worry about the implications of their work. "These results are remarkable," Alara admitted, her voice tinged with admiration and caution. "But we need to ensure our findings are robust before we move forward with any clinical trials." Thorne nodded, his expression one of determination. Agreed, but we also need to consider the pressure we're under. The board is pushing for progress, and there are whispers of interest from outside entities. Alara's gaze sharpened at his words. She knew all too well the risks posed by corporate interests and governmental pressures eager to exploit their discovery for profit or power. We must be vigilant, she said firmly. Our priority is to ensure Melittin's safe development and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. Thorne sighed, running a hand through his hair. It's a delicate balance, Alara, but I trust you'll steer us in the right direction. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Dr. Alara Finch, who entered the lab with her characteristic calmness. Her presence was a balm amidst the swirling tensions, her methodical approach providing a steady anchor for those around her. I've been reviewing our ethical framework, Finch announced, joining them at the workstation. We need to be transparent about our findings and involve external ethical oversight to maintain credibility. Alara nodded in agreement, grateful for Finch's unwavering commitment to integrity. Your insights are invaluable, Finch. We can't afford to compromise on ethics, not when so much is at stake. As they discussed their next steps, Alara couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that unseen eyes lingered in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to pounce. The Institute was a fortress of knowledge, yet even fortresses had vulnerabilities. Later that afternoon, Alara retreated to her office to review the latest data in solitude. As she sifted through reports and papers, her mind wandered to memories of her mother. The woman whose battle with breast cancer had ignited Alara's passion for research and fueled her determination to find a cure. A soft chime interrupted her thoughts, signaling an incoming message on her personal terminal. Alara frowned as she accessed the encrypted communication, a message from an anonymous source warning her of potential espionage within the Institute. Her heart raced as she read the cryptic words, "Trust no one. There are shadows among you." The warning sent a chill down her spine, exacerbating her already heightened sense of paranoia. Espionage? Here at the Hive Institute? The very thought was unsettling, yet not entirely surprising, given the magnitude of their discovery. Determined to protect their work, Alara resolved to share this information with Finch and Thorne. They needed to be vigilant and tighten security measures immediately. As evening descended upon the Institute, casting long shadows across its glass corridors, Alara convened a meeting with Finch and Thorne in her office, a space cluttered with research materials yet imbued with an aura of quiet authority. "We have a potential security breach," Alara announced without preamble. "I've received a warning about espionage within our ranks." Thorne's expression darkened as he absorbed the news. "Espionage? Do you have any idea who might be behind it?" Alara shook her head, frustration lacing her voice. "No specifics yet, but we can't take any chances. We need to conduct a thorough investigation and increase surveillance around sensitive areas." Finch nodded thoughtfully, her analytical mind already devising strategies to address the threat. "We'll need to review access logs and monitor communications closely," she suggested. "And perhaps it's time we implement stricter protocols for handling sensitive data." As they strategized late into the night, Alara felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to protect their work from those who sought to exploit it for darker purposes. The stakes were higher than ever before, but she refused to let fear dictate their actions. With their plans set in motion, Alara found herself alone once more in her office as the clock ticked toward midnight. The Institute was eerily quiet now, save for the occasional rustle of leaves outside and the distant hum of security drones patrolling the perimeter. In this world where science danced on a knife's edge between salvation and destruction, Alara knew one thing for certain. They were not alone in their pursuit, nor were they immune to the machinations of those who lurked in shadows. Yet even amidst uncertainty and danger, hope persisted, a beacon guiding them through uncharted territory where innovation met ethical responsibility at every turn. And so began their journey into unknown depths, a tale woven from threads of courage and caution, a story destined not only to shape their lives but also humanity's future in ways yet unimaginable. As Alara finally left her office that night, her mind racing with possibilities and plans, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. For somewhere amidst these hallowed halls where dreams took flight on wings borne aloft by bees' venomous gifts, where courage met conscience at crossroads fraught with peril, the stage was set for what lay ahead, an epic odyssey rich with trials, yet brimming with promise, waiting patiently just beyond reach. Chapter 3. The Precipice of Innovation. The Hive Institute was a hive of activity, its corridors bustling with scientists driven by the urgency of their mission. The discovery of Melittin's cancer-fighting properties had set off a cascade of events that felt both exhilarating and perilous. Dr. Alara Voss, at the center of this storm, found herself navigating a complex web of scientific ambition, ethical dilemmas, and external pressures that threatened to unravel everything she held dear. Alara stood in the central lab, surrounded by the hum of machinery and the soft glow of monitors displaying intricate molecular models. Her team was engrossed in their work, their faces etched with concentration as they analyzed data and refined experimental protocols. Yet, beneath the surface of their focused efforts, a tension simmered. A tension that Alara could feel in every interaction and hear in every whispered conversation. "Alara," called Dr. Marcus Thorne, his voice cutting through the ambient noise. He approached her with a clipboard in hand, his expression a mix of excitement and concern. "We've made significant progress in stabilizing Melittin for potential clinical trials, but we're also facing increased scrutiny from the board." Alara nodded, her mind racing through the implications. "I expected as much," she replied, her tone measured but resolute. "The board's interest is understandable, but we can't compromise on safety or ethics." Thorne sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I know you're right, but the pressure is mounting. There are whispers of corporate interests wanting a stake in our research." Alara's eyes narrowed at his words, her resolve hardening. "We must remain vigilant and ensure that our work is not co-opted by those who prioritize profit over people." As they spoke, Dr. Alara Finch entered the lab, her presence a calming influence amidst the rising tensions. Her methodical approach and unwavering commitment to ethical principles provided a steady anchor for the team. "I've been reviewing our protocols," Finch announced, joining them at the workstation. "We need to strengthen our security measures and ensure transparency in our findings. The integrity of our research depends on it." Alara nodded in agreement, grateful for Finch's steadfast support. "Your insights are invaluable, Finch. We can't afford to let our guard down, not when so much is at stake." Their conversation was interrupted by an alert on Alara's personal terminal, a message from an anonymous source warning of potential espionage within the Institute. The cryptic words sent a chill down her spine. "Trust no one. There are shadows among you." Alara's heart raced as she absorbed the warning, her mind immediately turning to the implications. Espionage? Here at the Hive Institute? The very thought was unsettling, yet not entirely surprising given the magnitude of their discovery. Determined to protect their work, Alara resolved to share this information with Finch and Thorne. They needed to be vigilant and tighten security measures immediately. Later that evening, Alara convened a meeting with Finch and Thorne in her office, a space cluttered with research materials yet imbued with an aura of quiet authority. "We have a potential security breach," Alara announced without preamble. "I've received a warning about espionage within our ranks." Thorne's expression darkened as he absorbed the news. "Espionage? Do you have any idea who might be behind it?" Alara shook her head, frustration lacing her voice. "No specifics yet, but we can't take any chances. We need to conduct a thorough investigation and increase surveillance around sensitive areas." Finch nodded thoughtfully, her analytical mind already devising strategies to address the threat. "We'll need to review access logs and monitor communications closely," she suggested, "and perhaps it's time we implement stricter protocols for handling sensitive data." As they strategized late into the night, Alara felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to protect their work from those who sought to exploit it for darker purposes. The stakes were higher than ever before, but she refused to let fear dictate their actions. With their plans set in motion, Alara found herself alone once more in her office as the clock ticked toward midnight. The Institute was eerily quiet now, save for the occasional rustle of leaves outside and the distant hum of security drones patrolling the perimeter. In this world where science danced on a knife's edge between salvation and destruction, Alara knew one thing for certain. They were not alone in their pursuit, nor were they immune to the machinations of those who lurked in shadows. Yet even amidst uncertainty and danger, hope persisted, a beacon guiding them through uncharted territory where innovation met ethical responsibility at every turn. The following days were a blur of activity as Alara and her team worked tirelessly to fortify their defenses against potential threats. Surveillance systems were upgraded, access protocols were tightened, and every member of the Institute was reminded of the importance of vigilance. Despite these measures, Alara couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss, that unseen forces were closing in on them with each passing day. Her workaholic tendencies strained her relationships with colleagues, leading to tensions within the team. Conversations that once flowed easily now felt stilted and guarded, as if everyone was wary of saying too much or revealing too little. Dr. Finch emerged as a pivotal figure during this tumultuous time, her calm demeanor and moral compass serving as a guiding light for those around her. "We need to stay true to our principles," Finch reminded Alara during one of their late-night discussions over cups of steaming tea. "Our integrity is what sets us apart from those who seek to exploit our discovery for selfish gains." Alara nodded, her gratitude for Finch's unwavering support evident in her eyes. "I know," she replied softly, "but it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by everything that's happening." Finch reached across the table, placing a reassuring hand over Alara's. "You're not alone in this," she said firmly. "We have each other, and together we'll navigate these challenges." Their conversation lingered in the air like a promise, a testament to their shared commitment to protecting their work from those who would do it harm. As tensions continued to rise within the Institute and external pressures mounted, Alara found herself standing on the precipice of innovation, a place where hope battled fear and ethical responsibility illuminated their path forward. The narrative crescendoed with a high-stakes confrontation that tested Alara's leadership and determination. A confrontation that left readers on edge with an unresolved cliffhanger, eager for what lay ahead in this epic journey fraught with trials yet brimming with promise, waiting patiently just beyond reach. In this world where science met nature, where courage met conscience at crossroads fraught with peril, the stage was set for what lay ahead. An odyssey rich with trials, yet brimming with promise, waiting patiently just beyond reach.